So South Africa, after being put into bat on a wicket that tends to favor the chasing side, have managed to put only 117, and going by history, this should be a walk in the park for the Indian team. But will the pitch really allow that to happen? Is this really just about formalities? We'll answer all of those questions and also tell you what is it that we saw in a little shy of 20 overs that we saw play out over here. There was something for everyone from what I saw, but Shane and Siddharth alongside me as we look back at this Indian team that lost the match terribly in the previous one. There were questions over them as to whether they can take the lead or not, because remember the series as things stand 1-1, but with half the match underway now, we can say that India looking like the team that will perhaps be moving ahead in this particular series, gents.
I mean, firstly, they bowled the right lengths. Arshdeep didn't concede 7 wides in an over. That's one good positive thing. You check the extras that were there from the previous match and compare it to now, it is a big difference that you're seeing. So that is one. The lengths, they got it fuller, they got it in the right channel, they got it to swing, allowed the ball to swing, and that's why you saw 44 for 5. They were in a big situation, the South Africans. Aiden Markram benefited by some dropped catches, I would say 2-3 dropped catches. You shouldn't have allowed South Africa to score another 73 runs in the back end of the 10 overs if you had held those catches. I mean, one particular, if you look at it, Harshit Rana misjudged a catch that went behind him.
Arshdeep Singh dropped a catch.
Although I will admit, places like Mohali, Mullapur, Dharamsala, where the lights are slightly lower, high catches, generally it is very difficult to take.
Yeah, because it will get lost in the lights, of course.
Exactly. But still, if there is one area where India have to improve heading into the T20 World Cup, looking at the situations and everything, it is the catching. You shouldn't have allowed them more than 60-70 runs in the back end. But still, a commendable bowling performance considering what went through in the last match. So 117 all out. Yes, the last time when South Africa won a T20I here, you chased 200. So South Africa have not posted that at least.
I mean, see, what we know for a fact is that the bowlers got some early movement, made full use of it. Let's be very fair. Both Arshdeep and Harshit were very generous in taking full advantage of the conditions on offer. Obviously, later on, I think the conditions eased out, which is really, I think, a bit of this thing really on the South African batters as well. I don't think any of them look to say that, okay, hey, hang on 1 second. It's swinging around a bit. Let's wait. It's not going to be swinging around for 20 overs. Let's wait till the things ease out a bit and then we can attack. The only one who did that was Markram. He also benefited, as Siddharth rightly pointed out, from a couple of missed catches. There were drops. But if one or two other batters had to do that, I dare say they could have still had a decent total, because again, and this is something that I remember Tilak Verma mentioning in the pre-match press conference. He said very clearly that, look, in the cold right now, so far we've seen everywhere the ball has been swinging early. So I think that's been a trend. And the fact that South Africa were unable to spot this trend or willfully just said, no, we're just going to be playing one way, very weird. Because you saw early on, there was really good movement. Arshdeep in particular, I remember the ball, he got rid of Risa. Yeah. So when he got rid of Risa, he set him up. He actually got few of them to swing away and then one to swing back.
Concedes a single of the first ball, gets 2 to move away from Risa Hendricks. Again, bowled just in the right corridor that you would be wanting to do a right-hander. Fresh at the crease. So 2 balls move away. In comes the 4th ball of the match. And then the ball swings in. Again pitched in the same area though. Batters thinking, okay, this one, much like the previous 2 deliveries, will be missing my my outside edge. Goes for it, but this time it comes back in and gone. There you go. So that's what you saw. Very good control from Arshdeep and the others as well. Why I'm naming Arshdeep to begin with over here, because he's the one who copped up all the criticism last time. And for somebody who is and has this proud record of being India's highest wicket taker in T20 cricket, this is exactly what you expect, especially when the senior pro is not around. This is what you expect. I don't know if this is to do again with what you see from Mohammad Siraj as well. When Jasprit Bumrah is not around, just ups his game. But good to see whether there is something over there or not. We'll have Arshdeep perhaps reveal us that if he feels more motivated when Jasprit Bumrah isn't around. But of course, having the two of them together is the ideal scenario. And the others as well, I think once you get a wicket in the first over itself, it gives extra confidence to the side and more confidence particularly to the bowler who will be bowling from the opposite end. And then Harshit Rana also strikes in the very first over. We've seen it from the ODI series as well, that if there is something on offer, remember the wobbly seam you saw from him, couple of early wickets, don't remember what the venue was, but then he struck early.
Sydney.
Even in the ODI series right now, wasn't he the one to strike early?
Vizag.
Again, don't remember the venue much, but point being, he's shown the fact that if there is something on offer for the fast bowlers, Harshit Rana can get you wickets as well. Got that confidence, seeing Arshdeep got a wicket in the first over, was getting the ball to land in the right areas and was rewarded as well. So all in all,
you're talking about movement. Dubey, that one wicket he got. It's
Ferreira, right?
No, it was Ferreira. Stubbs, it was Hardik who got. That ball also had some movement.
Yeah.
So it really was moving a fair bit. I think it required a patient approach and I dare say a slightly old school approach where you'd had to take your time and then bide your time and potentially then build to getting a big push in the second half of the innings, because in the second half you realize that once the ball wasn't moving around as much, it's not a coincidence that your spinners were your best bowlers. Why? Because they weren't reliant on the conditions. Varun was just doing what he normally does. Kuldeep in the first over, his first over got smacked, second over bowling in the death more than made up for it, got 2 wickets. So it was definitely first 10 overs. I think South Africa needed to play the waiting game. Easy to say in hindsight, sure, but you saw what Markram did as well. He waited, then finally accelerated. So I think he needed maybe 1 or 2 other batters to do the same thing. Maybe perhaps not play conventional T20 cricket in the sense where you're just looking to hit every ball. I think today the conditions demanded a little bit of patience. We didn't see that. It'll be interesting to see how it is the Indian batters now approach it, because I do think the new ball may just move a little bit.
Also, that was Corbin Bosch, the player.
It was Corbin Bosch, not Ferreira.
Not Ferreira.
So Ferreira, I think it was Varun who got with the ball coming in.
Yeah, I mean, see, the googlies that Varun Chakravarthy are bowling South Africa were absolutely clueless. And this is where I think India will hold the edge, because South Africa don't have a spinner to match up.
Actually, they don't have a spinner, right? Markram is their only recognized spinner in this match.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just have a look at
or we're comparing Corbin Bosch and calling him a spinner.
No,
Bosch is a proper medium pacer at this point. So you don't have proper 2 spinners that you've got. I mean, Kuldeep also got you 2 wickets.
No, not Corbin Bosch. I was saying Donovan Ferreira. Ferreira is a spinner. But again, you've got 2 spinners.
There anything that a Ferreira can't do? He can keep wickets for you. He can bat. As you say, he can bowl as well.
He got me in trouble because I had initially said that he's a wicket keeper. But then one match he takes a wicket. I'm like, what? He took a wicket, but he's always listed as a keeper.
It's a bit like the whole Glenn Phillips thing as well. Right? He also bowls off spin. He used to keep once upon a time. So.
But he's one of the best outfielders in the world at this point in time.
Phenomenal outfielder. And he has the ability of making blinders look easy.
Champions Trophy and how he was
3 catches.
lighting it up.
Yeah, 3 catches in the Champions
Trophy. Taking that Champions Trophy somewhere else with his fielding displays.
If you look at it, 118, there is a bit of bounce. There is some early movement. So Marco Jansen will be the guy that the Indian team will be wary about. But again, this chase is right up Abhishek and Gill's alley when you look at it, because Abhishek, he need not take pressure and score that quickly.
But this is more to the liking of Gill.
Exactly.
More to the liking of Gill,
this is the kind of match.
Not a day where you're worried about your strike rate. This is not a day where you're worried about the required run rate. This is just a day to go out there and express yourself, play to the merit. Can he survive
the first over? He's not survived it for 2 games.
To the merit of the ball. It's that kind of day where you don't too often, go into a chase with a required run rate being less than 6. And when that is the case, you know that the bowlers have done the job, and you know this is the opportunity for you to go ahead and grab. Shubman Gill may not get a better opportunity in the series to rectify what's gone wrong.
See, he needs to first survive the first over. He's not survived the first over at all in both the games. And remember, if Marco Jansen doesn't get you, then a Lungisani Ngidi and an O'Neill Batman will find conditions quite conducive for them, because there'll be skid, there'll be bounce, there'll be pace in that sense. So I would say they shouldn't be overconfident in this. Abhishek, I know that bowlers are trying to ensure they don't give him room on the offside. They're not bowling him in the slot on the onside also. So it's a challenge even for him. But yes, Shubman, if you survive that, 40, if he scores a good 40 or a 45 in this sense, then I think that the voice will die down a touch. It won't go away quickly at all. So,
Yeah. Yes,
Hardik Pandya at this point in time, yes, he.
Yeah, he's the first Indian to notch up the feat of getting 1,000 runs and 100 wickets in T20Is. By the way, there's only 4 players who have done it prior to this, 3 of whom were in full member nations. I'll take the full member nation members. There is Shakib from Bangladesh.
Not surprising.
There is the other 2. There is one big surprise. So Nabi, again, not a surprise. Sikandar Raza.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Raza is the third.
Raza scores big against the minnows when you look at it.
And he's got more than 100 wickets.
Yeah.
More than 100 wickets. Phenomenal considering he took up bowling much later in his career.
Yeah.
That's actually really good.
Yes. So there we have Lungisani Ngidi, who's
And
been hit for a 6 first ball.
Off to a flyer with a 6.
A horrible ball to start
So
with.
111 runs left for the Indian team. You've got 119 balls also, but I doubt you're seeing even 100 of those.
No, I doubt.
Yeah, I mean, if you keep your heads, that's it. You will achieve this chase rather easily, but then respect the conditions. Don't play rash shots. If it's wide, don't go chasing after it. But easier said than done.
Just as I said, with Abhishek though, you don't. There are very less deliveries that
He respects.
That he respects exactly. So yeah, I don't expect him to recalibrate much.
Yeah.
With Gill though, Gill's got the time in the world and the occasions there for him to set the record.
Survive the first over. I think then that'll increase his confidence then in a big way. So yep. We'll come back then or should we see this entire first over and then?
No, we can come back. It's all right. Let people watch the action.
All
Might
right.
not be too much in this innings.
All right. So we'll be joining you for the post-match.
Longer discussion
on all the things that's there. So yep. See you from all of us. We'll be back very shortly.